Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I can change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took a red pill. I know life's short so I wanna live real good. How's it supposed to feel? 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 They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all this shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather live than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Hey Deb, how you going? John Paul, nice to see you. Catch you in the morning. Out to lunch. You had me worried yesterday with your comment until I realised what you were talking about. The fact checkers. Good to see you guys. Okay, let's get into this. I know a lot of people don't like the Tates. I get it, but he's right. Donald Trump often pulls what I've called the Trump manoeuvre. It's actually called the big ask, I believe. He says outrageous, unreasonable things. He did this about North Korea, Iceland, Ukraine, Mexico, the wall, tariffs, the EU, etc., and people panic. He then reached a nice, reasonable compromise somewhere far off his original outrageous demand. Yes, that's called the big ask. He's pulled this many times. I will maintain faith that this is what he's doing with the Iranian situation right now. I stand by our Commander-in-Chief and will stay on board the MAGA ship. American forces in Iran, I just don't see it happening. Praying for our president. And I agree. There's a lot of people turning on him right now. There's a lot of people turning on each other right now on X. You've got Candace Owens, you got Laura Loomer just fighting everybody. It's pretty insane, actually. Doge Designer said, can someone unplug Earth and plug it back in, please? I'm sure we'd all agree with that right now. Can someone just unplug the Earth and reset it? Plug it back in. This is getting ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, I told everyone the news would get absolutely ridiculous before people start to wake up, and people still aren't waking up. But hey, there's a big event eventually that will, if they don't wake up before that. JFK 19th said, I will say this with love. But how in the hell can the majority of humanity be oblivious to what's happening right in front of their eyes? How? What's it going to take? That big event, I believe. I think we're finding out now, Deb. We're finding out who's who in the zoo. At least I am on X. I probably should include, I just don't want to do all the gossip shit, but, you know, I probably should. I'm not fighting anyone. I don't hate anyone, and I'm just wary of everybody right now, okay? Praying medic said the Islamic regime in Iran, installed by the CIA, is removed. Hezbollah is no more. Hamas is no more. Houthis are no more. Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria are no more. The CIA has no more enemies for the US to fight in the Middle East. What am I missing? Because you do know that the Iranian regime was installed by the CIA. You do know that, don't you? The people don't even want them in there. Okay, this is a message for all Anons. Val Thor, OD, duty note. Dear Patriot, you've been through more than you let on, more than anyone knows. The sleepless nights, the relatives, friends and strangers who laughed at you, the moments you questioned yourself, the times you had nothing left but still chose to believe. You held on when others folded. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. That makes you rare, dangerous and destined. You may not feel it right now, but this is the final stretch before everything changes. There will come a day when you'll sit in stillness and remember the version of you who refused to give up. The one who showed up broke, exhausted and ridiculed, but you never let go of the vision. That day is coming, and when it does, you will cry. But not because you're hurting, because it finally all made sense. All the pain, doubt, delays, and all the missed exits. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You weren't meant to get rich fast. You were meant to become someone unshakable. You are awake, alive, and know that this matters. Now you're too far in to turn around and way too close to fold. The storm is loud, but your intuition is louder, and it's been screaming at you from the beginning. Hold on, just hold. This moment is once in a lifetime. You won't see it again, not like this, not at this price, not with this setup. So breathe, trust your gut, silence the noise when this ends. When it finally ends, you'll be the one they come to asking how you knew. And you'll smile because deep down, way down, you always knew. I'm proud of you. You're almost there. Finish the mission. I love you. Anon. And that is to all the Patriots and Anons, well, Anons most, because we were here way before everybody else woke up. And we were following, oh, they've done it again. Ignore and proceed. Are they going to do the same thing? Yep, turnstile token missing. Okay, well then let's go here. Let's go here. Keep going. Come on. What do you do? Oh, have they finally shut it down? Have they finally shut it down? No? Okay. They're just making you jump through more hoops to get to it now, okay? That's because of this. Because those of us who followed this and have not wavered, because we know, because we read it, we followed it at the time. We followed people who were decoding what it meant. And I believe that's what they're talking about here from the beginning. Okay, Craig Kelly, Foundation for Economic something or other. Craig Kelly's one of Australia's politicians on the, is he libertarian now? I don't know, he's changed parties a few times. Climate chaos on the Isle of the Dead, Port Arthur, Tasmania. Rising sea levels threaten the estimated 1,000 graves on the isle. The Isle of the Dead was used as a cemetery for the penal settlement of Port Arthur from September 1833 to 1877. Of the 1,000 estimated graves recorded to exist there, only 180, those of prison staff and military personnel, were marked. The cemetery was closed following the demise of the Port Arthur settlement in 1877. Okay? Now, they're saying the seas are rising. You ready for it? It actually, hang on, let me just put it up. It actually nearly looks like it's the opposite because I can see more of all this than you could up here in 1900. It looks like it's grown a little bit. They're trying to tell you that the sea levels are rising. Seriously, if you can't see, that they're not. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's so funny when they do that. There's also photos of Sydney Harbour back in the 1900s and now, and there's no change. There is no change. Alex James said, is this fair? Exclusive, Indigenous-only room added to a new hospital. Well, I'm going to say anyone who does take that room, you're probably better off away from them. They're going to be virtue signalling fools. Because most normal Aboriginal people will just want to bunk in with other people. But no, the ones who do take them up on this might be, unless they're forced to, I don't know. But I can't see them forcing you to do anything. They wanted to try and force a rat test on me 2 weeks ago, and I said no. And they asked me if I had had any jabbies, and I said no. And the flu shot, no. I've had to say that quite a few times and be firm about it because they will push if you're not. You've just got to be stubborn and say no. And I mean no. Doge Designer said, should Elon Musk sue the New York Times and Wall Street Journal for lying about him? He should sue most of the media because they've lied about him. And I swear a lot of people still listen to, including people who are influencers or, you know, I've said this for a long time. I mean, I do it every now and then, but I don't necessarily believe what I'm reading. They normally spin it a way that they want to spin things. Like the vampire story the other day that I read, that was mainstream news. Now, I think there's a lot deeper than what they're telling you. Okay, that's just how I think. Most mainstream, or I think all of them lie. I'm yet to find one that doesn't. Kobe Thatcher said Sky News Australia is reporting that Anthony Albanese refused to meet J.D. Vance in Rome for the Pope's inauguration. No wonder he's now having a hard time meeting with Trump. I don't blame Trump at all if he rejects a face-to-face meeting with Albo. I don't either, but knowing Trump, he may meet with him to try. But if he sees that Albo's just absolutely bloody hopeless, then, you know, it'll expose it. I want Trump to do it, and I want it done on camera so we can all see it. Okay? That's what I want to see. Miss Taya, to you, said, I'm all for cutting the benefits for people who can work but choose not to. Can we start with the Muslim women who never leave their house? I wish we could too. Look, I do leave my house, but I rarely leave my house, but that's because I'm not well. Okay? But yeah, I wouldn't mind starting with the Muslim women who never leave their house, and there's like 10 of them, and they all have 10 kids each. You know, married to one guy, you know, those ones. I mean, all of them, really. Can we just send them all back? Oh, dear. Okay, the bike boy scandal's not over here in Australia. One of our premiers apparently ran over a kid on a bike, okay, back in 2020, I think it was. Daniel Andrews, the one who fired rubber bullets at protesters who were protesting the lockdowns. Our last post attracted over 2,000 new followers in 1 week on X and over 3,500 on Facebook. Remember when they said it was all over? No hope, no justice? He's untouchable? They even tried to kill the story. Well, they were wrong because no one's above the law. Slater and Gordon were the first to pay out, and we all know who's next. The Bike Boy scandal is alive. The team's locked in. Stand by for the main event. So Slater and Gordon had to pay out, did they? So we know who not to go to. That's just my opinion, of course. But mind that everybody mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, And everything here is theory until proven otherwise, even if it's the truth. Okay? The Justice cometh, said today's Delta. Okay, start with the most important one first. A thread. Oh, shit, it's a thread. This was over here on this board here. Okay, they're just taking screenshots. They've got it in dark mode. Number 1558, post 1558. Free Iran. Fight, fight, fight. Regime change. People have the power. We stand with you. Okay, so the people, and I can show you, the people of Iran don't like their government. They want it gone. Pretty much like us in Australia, right? We want our government gone. Charlie Kirk said there's some confusion developing in the base right now about regime change, perhaps thanks to war hawks deliberately muddying the waters. The Iranian regime is bad. We support popular sovereignty. If the Iranian people want to bring down their government and put in a new one that respects human rights and desires peace with its neighbours, they will have our full support. But there is a vast difference between a popular revolution and a foreign-imposed, abrupt, violent regime change. We learnt that difference 22 years ago. Saddam was never popular, but when America violently toppled him, we became the enemy invaders, and the government we installed became the unpopular occupation government. The government we installed was linked inextricably to a humiliating military defeat, which badly undermined its legitimacy. Forced regime change creates a power vacuum that is filled by the most violent forces in a society. It exacerbates ethnic tensions, especially when there is a foreign power picking winners and losers while being totally unfamiliar with a nation's complex social dynamics. It happened to us in Afghanistan, it happened to us in Iraq, it happened to us in Libya, and it would happen again in Iran. Anybody who tells you regime change is easy is kidding themselves. Every country has its government for a reason. Abruptly throwing that into turmoil isn't just risky, it's reckless. It needs to be done correctly by the people. That's why you've seen that post. We are behind you. Sorry, just having a sip of my tea. Mark PG said now over 2 million immigrants have arrived since Labor took office here in Australia. There's no sign of it slowing down. Electricity prices have risen 42% since Labor took office. The Treasurer told us this week he's working out new ways to tax us. Now tell me again why Labor won in a landslide. With 34% of the votes, that means that 66% of Australians did not vote for him. Crazy. Doge Designer said the world won't end with a meteor or an earthquake, it'll end with human stupidity. Ah, look at our government. That's all you need to know to see how it will end with human stupidity. Oh. DC Drano said, friendly reminder that the real big lie is that 2020 was the most safe and secure election we've ever had. It was rigged and stolen down to the bones, DC Drano thinks. And now we have proof that Communist China was involved. Any Democrat or rhino that helped a foreign country interfere is guilty of treason. There must be arrests and trials or this will keep happening. DC Drano said Mike Pence knew 2020 was stolen. He probably knew the CCP was involved and he still certified the fraud because he was in on the coup. Mike Pence was given gold coins after he certified. 2020 election, they all knew what they did. Judas. Yes, so see, I told you that China may have been involved, the CCP, sorry. I've got a cough, hang on. Oh, definitely out to lunch. I think China helped Albo, for sure. He's their good little boy. They love him. MJ Truth Ultra said, oh my goodness, did you see this today? Did you see where all of this is going? The auto pen might just nullify every single action Joe Biden took as president. His cognitive decline is going to be the end of many. Anthony Fauci, Benny Thompson, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Pete Aguilar, Zoe Lofgren, Jamie Raskin, Adam Kinzinger, Elaine Luria, Stephanie Murphy, plus many more, you're all fucked. Remember what President Trump said before leaving office? The 25th Amendment is of zero risk to me, but it will come back to haunt Joe Biden and the Biden administration. The auto pen. I believe everything's going to be overthrown of what Biden did. Every law, everything. Oz Integrity said, lol, Albo never looked that good. Well, one of our senators has met Donald Trump, Senator Alex Antic. And he said, bad luck, Albo, he doesn't meet with everyone. No, that's because this man is a sensible man. Alex Antic is one you should follow, seriously, because he is fighting for Australians. But they should form one party with Pauline Hanson and all these people. Unless they're going to take over the Liberal Party, I don't know, but it remains to be seen as yet. Jack said, explain this to me like I'm 2 years old. USAID, the agency that sends money overseas, got shut down by Doge. Now the DNC is flat broke and looking to take out loans. Were they completely funded by USAID? I believe so. I believe that's where they were skimming all that money from. Oh, no, close. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, dear God, can I just close it? Thank you very much. Oh, my God. Oh, dear. MAGA Voice said, I agree 100%. The pandemic was fake. The tests were fake. Oh, this is someone's opinion, okay? YouTube, it's not me saying it. It's someone's opinion. It's an opinion only. Even if it is the truth, it's still an opinion only. Okay, this person believes the pandemic was fake, the tests were fake, the mask science was fake, the social distancing was fake, the jabby science was fake, the news was fake, the CDC, FDA were fake, the government's messaging was fake, the elections were fake, climate science is fake, it's all fake. Okay, that's what this person is saying, okay? It's an opinion, YouTube, even though I agree. Seriously, I do. Stephen says, Senator Pauline Hanson vows to ban immigration from countries that do not align with Australia's culture, values and laws. People who hate Australia are not welcome here. I do agree with Pauline. God love her. She's been fighting since the 90s against immigration. She saw this coming back then. That's before I even woke up. But I still liked her then. I still like her now. The Vigilant Fox said, amidst rough seas, you need a steady sailor. Victor Davis Hanson just delivered a masterful breakdown of the Iran conflict with clarity few can match. Not just what's happening, but what's coming next. Then came his historic prediction. I think we're going to see things that we haven't seen in our lifetime in the Middle East. This could go one of two ways. Neither is small. Victor Davis Hanson isn't known for hyperbole, so when he opens with a warning like this, people pay attention. We're at an historic time in the Middle East, he said. Never in our lifetimes have we been closer to a complete revolutionary fervour that gives promise of normalcy for the Middle East, and never have we been in more danger of seeing the entire region blow up. The paradox is striking. Peace may be closer than ever, but so is total collapse. At the centre of it all is the unfolding conflict between Iran and Israel, which Hanson called surreal. Reflecting on the rapid collapse of Iran's regional dominance, Hanson admitted that even a few years ago this moment would have been unthinkable. If we had this conversation 5 years ago, he said, and I said to you, the Iranian nation that is huge compared to Israel, 10 times the population, the Iranian nation has lost all control of the Houthi terrorists and they themselves neutered. He pointed to a chain reaction across the region. Iran's proxy forces in Gaza and the West Bank have been neutralised. Hezbollah, once a feared military force, is now dormant. They're gone as Hamas, a fighting force, as is Hamas. They're gone as Hamas, a fighting force, the formidable, the terrifying Hezbollah cadres, they're inert. The chaos in Syria, once a stronghold of Iranian influence, now seems to be working against Tehran. There is no more Syria. The Assad dynasty, the pro-Iranian, the Syria, it's in chaos. But whatever the chaos is, seems to be anti-Iranian. The collapse is strategic, not just symbolic. Hansen noted the so-called Shia Crescent connecting Tehran to the Mediterranean is no longer intact. Lebanon is free of Iranian influence, so is Syria, Gaza a de facto will be. Even Russia, once a key ally, is no longer a player in the region. It's tied down in Ukraine, he said. Iran itself, the formidable powerhouse of the Middle East that evoked terror all over, has no defences. Over the course of just 5 days, Israel has launched a target military campaign to dismantle Iran's strategic infrastructure. According to Hansen, the damage has been sweeping. They have dismantled all of the Iranian missile defences. They have dismantled the terrorist hierarchy. They have dismantled the people who are responsible for the nuclear program. And yet there's risk. The Iranians have spent over 400 ballistic missiles and drones in Israel, and 90% are stopped, but that 10% gets through. Which brings us to the turning point. All of this only matters if it ends with Iran's theocracy on the brink of collapse. If it doesn't, everything that's been gained could be erased. All of this chaos and all of this war will be for naught if Iran's theocracy emerges intact from this war, he said. Even more dangerous, he added, would be a scenario in which the country's nuclear infrastructure survives or can be quickly rebuilt. That possibility has triggered one of the most urgent strategic questions on the table. Can Israel finish the job? Or will it need the help from the United States to strike Iran's deeply buried nuclear facilities? This is where things get complicated. Under the America First foreign policy doctrine, Trump has been clear. No more forever wars, no more ground troops in the Middle East. But Hansen argued that Trump's actions tell a deeper story. I'm not an isolationist, I'm a Jacksonian, he said, echoing what Trump might say. You should have known that when I took out Soleimani, when I took out Baghdadi, when I took out the Wagner Group. The message? Trump doesn't go looking for wars, but when deterrence is at stake, he's not afraid to act decisively. Still, Hansen posed a chilling question: what if the Iranian regime survives? If this war should end... Sorry, I'm going to cough. Okay. If this war should end with the Iranian regime intact and the elements of its nuclear program recoverable, he warned, then in some ways it will all be for naught. Despite Iran's military losses, its media destruction and its isolated position, surviving such a coordinated strike could give it something even more powerful than weapons, perceived invincibility. It will be more like, oh my gosh, Iran survived everything that Israel, by association, the United States threw at it, he said. It's indestructible. And that, Hansen suggested, would be the real danger. Not just a return to the status quo, but a shift in perception that emboldens the regime and reshapes the balance of power across the region. Now the question hanging over the entire conflict is this: does the world play it safe and allow remnants of Iran's nuclear infrastructure to survive? Or risk a final strike that could eliminate the threat for good, but possibly trigger even greater instability? Do you risk more danger by taking out and eliminating the nuclear threat for good, Hansen asked, and by association you humiliate the theocracy to the point it can be overthrown? That's the gamble. He didn't shy away from his own discomfort with war. I don't like forever wars, he added. I don't like preemptive wars. I do not like the United States intervening anywhere in that godforsaken area. But if the war ends with the regime intact and a recoverable nuclear program, it won't just be back to square one, it'll be disaster. That's when he dropped a bombshell prediction of the future in the area after the dust settles in the desert. Whether this ends in collapse or resurgence, Hansen believes the next phase of the war could reshape the entire region and the world's understanding of power in the Middle East. So we'll see what happens, he said. And hold on, everybody, I think we're going to see things that we haven't seen in our lifetime in the Middle East, and it could turn out very bad. But it could also turn out to be quite revolutionary and remake the map of the entire region. So there you go, and if you want to follow Vigilant Fox on X, you can. Okay, Lozzie B said, welcome to Victoria. What the hell is this? Okay, let's have... Have I already done that? No? Okay. Let's have a look.
We have more protests than any other state.
And the most locked down city in the world.
And if you want to go on holidays and get a train to the airport, don't bother, as we don't have one. We can even save you a spot on one of our beautiful beaches.
Oh dear.
You can also come and drive around and experience our beautiful roads and scenery.
That's about
Or
right.
you can come to the famous MCG and pay $80 for a pie and chips.
You can even visit some of our amazing schools in the inner city.
Why don't you spend a day at the iconic Chapel Street that has the world's best fashion shops and cafes? We build roads that never get completed and over budget.
And if we can't pay for it, we'll just make up a new tax.
So where the bloody hell are you?
Oh, that was well done. The real Benny Mac. I don't know who you are, but well done, mate. Oh. There used to be an ad for tourism to Australia saying, where the bloody hell are you? Yeah, that one's for Melbourne. And it's pretty much true. Sydney's not far behind it. End Wokeness said Iran pledged that last night there would be a huge surprise and a night to remember for centuries. Did anything happen? I don't know. It was like 2 days ago. Anthony Scalise said capital punishment needs to be reintroduced in Australia. Yes, it does. It does. Especially for the 4 men who just attacked a 17-year-old girl and raped her for 6 hours or whatever it was. Yeah. Yep. Capital punishment needs to be reintroduced. Don't bother sending them home. Just get rid of them. That's just my opinion. The opinionated black woman auntie said, anyway, let's rehash this post. Her gallbladder surgery's been postponed again. Electricity's too expensive. We have the shop and home bills, so I sacrificed. I don't buy loads of wood, can't afford it, so I go scrub and find what I need for the fire. Just small stuff to warm the place up for a few hours. I also enjoy doing it too. It's relaxing. I've been unwell for almost 7 weeks and slowly each day it's gotten worse. But if you know me, I can take a licking and keep on kicking. I couldn't afford doctor's appointments, not that you can get one, and you have to find time. It's even harder when you only have one car on the road. This morning I just felt worse, so I thought I'd better rock on into the ER. I have pneumonia. No wonder I feel like garbage. Me, I'm actually sick. I had the boogeyman cootie virus in 2022 that hit me for 2.5 days, but the last time I had any sort of cold flu was this nasty thing back in 2010 that I had to go on steroids for. Since then I've had nothing, not as much as a sniffle except for the CV. If only we could afford to turn the heat on. I hear you, sister. Except this person has her own business, okay? The opinionated, same person, said 489,000 deaths per year worldwide are attributed to heat. However, up to 5 million deaths per year worldwide are attributed to the cold. The Australian government will kill people with their fraudulent Green Deal, making paying power prices unaffordable. People get sicker in winter. This puts more pressure on the health system, which will eventually collapse if the Labor government stays on this trajectory. Renewables are a Ponzi scheme that target those who can't afford electricity. It's almost like they want to knock us off one by one. Renewables are depopulation. Yes, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm probably part of the reason I got the flu, but I don't know. But no, I think my granddaughter gave it to me. The wood even is so expensive that you can't really afford it anymore. Okay, Defiant Els, you want to see another lunatic? We've got another one. This one's weird. This chick is either drunk or on drugs. One of the two. Wait till you see this one. Okay.
Stay there.
Don't
Let me
touch
show.
people.
No.
Don't touch
No, this is where her asshole is.
Do not touch her.
Look at her.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't fucking touch me.
Step back.
Let go. Não encosta nela. Tira a mão. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go for hair.
You cannot do that.
Let go, miss. Let go for hair.
Tira a mão. Tira a mão.
I'm not.
Andrea.
I'm not even touching your hair, bitch.
Andrea, you need the police right now.
You need to let go
You
right
need
now.
those 911.
You need to let go.
911, bro.
You need to let go right now.
Miss, like, go for it right now.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to sit next to a fucking fat lady.
Let go.
You need to let go of her right
Let go
now.
of her hair.
You guys are already past the point of no return. You're already past the point of no return. So her hair, miss. Y'all see me. You know what's going on. This is retarded. Yeah, put me on the ground. Put me on the ground. Look at this fat lady. Look at this fat ass bitch. She can't even look. You can't even see her stomach. It's horrible. Look at her outfit. Look at this fat ass bitch. Hilarious. You can't even show your mouth because you're embarrassed. You can't even see it because you're embarrassed. Shut the fuck up.
Who is Alana?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear.
What is wrong with her? Like, seriously. Is that drugs or is it... I thought it might have been alcohol at first. Why is she smiling at everyone while spewing the most vile shit at people? Oh my God.
Hear you, ugly ass fucking dude. Who's never gonna lay it again. Okay, I'm sorry, black guy. My boyfriend's black, so shut the fuck up. My boyfriend's fucking a black guy. My boyfriend's a black. My boyfriend's black. My boyfriend's a fucking black guy. You're joking.
Oh my God.
You disgusting human being. There is nothing worse. I don't know. Well, there is, but I mean, spitting at someone is one of the freaking worst things other than hitting them that you can do.
Shut the fuck up. 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 Yeah, put a seat down. Shut the fuck up. Ugly ass bitch, you're so fucking ugly. You guys, you never got laid in your life. Your boyfriend's dick is like 2 inches big. That's embarrassing. I'm so sorry about your boyfriend. That's horrible. That's horrible. I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe.
Oh, here comes the I can't breathe. Yes, of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Shut the fuck up. I can't breathe. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nobody's fucking touching me. Fuck you. You're not letting me go, motherfucker. You're corny as fuck. Nobody's letting me go. I can get out. Yeah, you shouldn't get out. You're fucking bad as shit. You're disgusting. Fuck you. Fuck
She's full on kicking this person here. It looks like a lady too because of the fingernails.
you. Fat ass pig. Fuck you. You're so beautiful. You're stunning. Shut the fuck up. Can anybody do something, please? Get the fuck up. No.
Someone put their hand over her face. Or a boot on a neck or something. Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, they need, you know, they need to call someone.
Pégame el celular.
This way.
Okay, I'm sorry. My boyfriend is black. You need to shut the fuck up. No, you're like shit. No, my boyfriend is black. You need to shut the fuck up and respect him.
What she just said doesn't make any sense. My boyfriend's black. Just chill out. So what? So freaking what?
No, you need to fucking chill. Fuck you! Fuck you! Leave me the fuck alone! Look at that ugly ass bitch! No. You're so fucking fat. Leave me a fuck alone. Yeah, all damaged, all.
I hope they strapped her down. Yeah, it looks like they might have. They might have to have. Yep, they've strapped her in. Probably sedated her too. Look at her. Yep. Make asylums great again. This person needs help. If that's drugs, they need help. If that's alcohol, they need help. If that's just her, lock her in a mental institution. Clandestine said you can panic if you like, but Trump's posture and body language has been extremely encouraging. He's not worried at all. He knows he ultimately holds all the cards and that he's in control of the situation. If you don't trust him, that's fine. In 3 years, you can vote for someone else, but until then, he's your commander-in-chief, and we have no choice but to watch how it unfolds. With that being said, there's nobody I'd rather have in this position than Trump, and I trust him to do what's best for the American people. He does not want another endless war.
Look, they should have made the deal. I had a great deal for them. They should have made that deal. 60 days, we talked about it, and in the end, they decided not to do it, and now they wish they did it. And they want to meet, but it's a little late to meet, but they want to meet, and they want to come to the White House. They'll even come to the White House. So we'll see. I may do that, but it's a shame it wasn't. Could have been done the easy way. Look, they should have made the deal.
There you go. See, I think he's willing to still meet with people, even though they're bastards. Okay? Complete bastards. Chook1717 said, let's take a dive into what could be the end of civilization as we know it. Not in a bad way. What you will see here is that a major event is in play, a scare event, if you will. In this thread, I want you to watch a movie. Look at what POTUS has been saying as he's telling us. We just need to listen. Greenland, pole flipping, geoengineering, 12,000-year cyclical, and Golden Dome. Fake IDs, fake votes, real treason, how a foreign power hijacked the 22... hang on, am I still in the same... No? Is there a thread here? That's what I... Yes. Okay. On March 26, 2019, Trump did Executive Order 13865 for coordinating national resilience to electromagnetic pulses, in short, EMPs. But was this not just for defence from the enemy, but from the sun? Do you know barium and its compounds, particularly barium sulfate, are used to block electromagnetic radiation? What is used in geoengineering? Barium and aluminium. Let's look at Earth being protected by a Faraday cage to protect it from an incoming EMP from the sun. And here's a kicker. Gold is used for blocking electromagnetic fields. Yes, Trump changed the name of the Iron Dome to the Golden Dome. On June 2025, we had one of the largest coronal holes ever recorded, ejections ever recorded. But they don't like to mention that. It's one of the reasons all these volcanoes are going off due to the strain of the Earth's crust from the sun. But coronal holes don't create EMPs. Sunspots do. So the sun is becoming more active, creating larger coronal holes and larger sunspots. As of the last few years, we have had an influx of X-class EMPs, flares that missed Earth, just. But there's another major event happening. It's the flipping of Earth's poles. Here's where it gets real. Apparently there's a video there, but I can't play it because of censorship. Trump today, 17/6/25, had to rush back from the G7 and miss meetings with other world leaders. So what was the hurry? The poles, the North and South flag poles, and he's giving everyone a gift. Now, at the start, I thought polls, election poll numbers, and then he posted this. Q said double meanings exist. It's my great honour to announce that I'll be putting up 2 beautiful big flag poles on both sides of the White House, North and South lawns. It's a gift from me of something which was always missing at this magnificent place. The digging and placement of the poles, begin at 7:30, blah, blah, blah. I read this yesterday. Great poll numbers for Trump. There's always more than one meaning for things. Greenland, POTUS talks a lot about Greenland and its importance for a location for security to the USA. Watch this movie and think of its importance. The USA, an underground military base there called Pitafik Space Base. Yes, Space Force. Trump also wants to put Canada under the same Golden Dome. Was this to protect them? And there's a trailer for Greenland. A summary. What if what I'm saying is true and the evidence is there? All you need is to look and join the dots. And Trump is helping us with drops, and the White Hats are wanting humanity to have a better chance the next time around, while the deep state want a deprived and perverted New World Order. This is just a quick rundown for now, so hold on tight, it's going to get real rough. Yes, well, something big's coming, so whether it's war or an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, who knows? Digital Swolger X said fake IDs, fake votes, real treason. How a foreign power hijacked the 2020 election, why they never thought you'd find out. We have it all, said the board. It was over before it begun, said the board. Something's been buried for nearly 5 years. They kept it all hidden, deep in sealed documents unspoken of in the headlines and completely untouched by the fake news mockingbird media. This was never supposed to come out, it was never supposed to be exposed, but now it is. And once you see what was just confirmed on the record with names, dates and documents, you'll understand why fellow OG and On the Storm Redux on June 17th, 2025 flagged this as 100% the biggest story right now, and the legacy media won't touch it. He's not exaggerating. I agree with him 1,000%. In fact, I would argue that he undersold it, because what we're about to unpack, what you're about to read, changes everything. Listen to John Solomon Reports discuss the story he broke yesterday about the CCP interfering in the 2020 election. Friends, now would be a good time to grab that cup of kofifi and get yourself comfy, because we're about to connect some serious dots. But before we go any further, I've got to ask, do you still think all this is just BS? And all the, do you think, them and all the drops are still BS? Because if you do, you better think again. If you believe it's a LARP, then by all means explain this. The setup, what they hoped you'd never find. Let's break this down real slow for all the normies up the back. Flashback August 2020, just months before the presidential election, the Chinese Communist Party mass produces fake US driver's licenses by the tens of thousands. They didn't do it for fun. They didn't do it for identity theft. They didn't do it for immigration scams. They did it for one reason only, election theft. To help non-citizens sympathetic to China illegally cast votes in the 2020 US election, specifically for one candidate, JB. This isn't a theory, it isn't speculation, it's now confirmed intelligence operation backed by official documents read publicly on air. Just the News Investigative Journal, John Solomon Reports, or J. Solomon Reports, just dropped the receipts live on air with Donald Trump Jr. as he read the contents of the original classified documents word for word. In late August 2020, the Chinese government had produced a large amount of fraudulent US driver's licenses that were secretly exported to the US. The fraudulent driver's license would allow tens of thousands of Chinese students and immigrants sympathetic to the CCP to vote for US presidential candidate Joe Biden, despite not being able to vote in the US. Let that sink in and then do the math. We have foreign operatives, fake government documents, illegal voting infrastructure, election outcome compromised. This isn't a Hollywood movie script. This isn't a headline from a spy thriller. This happened right here in America, and the FBI knew about it. They got the intel. They read the briefings. They had the whole op mapped. And what did they do? Nothing. They let it happen. They covered for it. Welcome to the setup, and this was just the beginning. Buckle up, buttercups. It's about to get bumpy. The Q-proof, fifth column, Delta confirmed. Now here's where it gets wild. On August 2020, that was a mouthful. The exact same day the FBI logged the CCP's fake ID op, they dropped a 2-word truth bomb. Fifth column. Translation. Fifth column equals enemies already inside the gate. Traitors embedded in our own institutions. They operate across government, media, education, corporations and the military. They were warning that the deadliest army isn't the one storming your shores, it's the suit behind the podium, stabbing you with an ink pen in the back, like Albanese. And Penny Wong. Infiltration instead of invasion. Fifth column. There you go. Infiltration, not invasion. What's the next one? When we start, the hangings by America rope, not that cheap shit from China. Whoa. Okay. We are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. Not everything will be clean, scare, necessary event. Do you trust the US military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day, have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You're being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it, protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. And is there another one? All of their lies will be exposed. We have everything. These are all memes from this board. The only way is the military, fully controlled, save and spread once 11.3 verifies as first marker. Biggest advance drop on poll. We still don't know what 11.3 marker is, but, you know, hey. Call the ball. Good and green. This is where this Pepe, the frog, came from in the first place, was this board here. The only way is the military. Did we tell you we have it all? Don't worry, I'll wait. So is this a list of all the traitorous scumbags that Grandpa's going to string up by their effing necks? Sweet. Or so this is a list, sorry. Nothing, Keck. Stop what's coming. I thought Keck meant LOL. A fifth column is a network of traitors or foreign sympathisers operating from inside the country to weaken and overthrow it. And we know that this drop was 100% timestamp intel, not random, not vague. They were telling us the truth in real time, not after, not months or years later. What if a CCP fake ID op was just one tentacle of a larger infiltration plan? What if key FBI brass didn't drop the ball, they were in on the team? What if this two-word drop was the classified marker pointing straight to August 2020? What happens when Americans realise the enemy didn't invade, they infiltrated? What happens when foreign-backed election interference is ruled as an act of war under military law? What happens when live-stream tribunals expose their entire network and treason charges hit during prime time? For those in Rio Linda, the invisible enemy is already here. They didn't parachute in. They walked in wearing suits, running the FBI, DOJ, fake news and big tech. They didn't just cheat. They hijacked the system from inside. They weren't dropping theories, they were dropping the op order, live as it happened. So I ask you again, you still think this is a LARP? They knew they could not destroy America through invasion, infiltration at the highest levels of government, media, science, health, military, COC, final level. The silence FBI knew. FBI let it happen. Let's be clear, the CCP interfered in the 2020 election. The FBI received classified intelligence in August. They buried it. They allowed the steal to proceed, but it gets worse. Mike, Ben, Cyber and DC Drano just blew the lid off with even more damning evidence. CCP cash flowed straight to the top. While China was flooding swing states with fake voter IDs, they were also funneling tens of millions of dollars to Joe Biden's family. And even to his hand-picked clown in America, director Bill Burns. That's not a conflict of interest. That's a compromised chain of command. China didn't just interfere, they bought access. Censorship wasn't accidental, it was strategic. Right after President Trump publicly warned that foreign governments were printing counterfeit ballots, Chris Krebs, head of CISA under DHS, activated a real-time censorship protocol across social platforms. They banned the topic mid-operation. They didn't just rig the election, they erased the trail of evidence. That's not mismanagement, that's complicity, that's collusion. That's a straight-up act of war. And now that these docs are coming out, you're watching the beginning of a massive exposure phase. You're probably wondering, wait, how does a fake ID rig a presidential election? Let me show you how simple it is. Fake driver's license equals instant voter registration. Fake address equals drop box voting. Non-citizen doesn't matter, the system doesn't check. Multiply that by tens of thousands. Target swing states with small margins. You just flip the election. That's how Biden won. What happens if China successfully duplicates clone select ballots, battleground states? What happens if coordination exists with select states to deliver printing and paper ballot recipes? Secrets to select F adversaries, nothing to lose, logical thinking. First marker 11.3 verified. In the drops, 11.3 designates the first public market proving foreign interference in the US elections. It's directly tied to the Department of Defense Law of War Manual, specifically the chapter that defines a trigger for lawful military jurisdiction when a belligerent foreign power captures a civilian government. And guess what? The entire CCP election op you just read about, that wasn't some theory. That was the first marker. Okay, thank you. Coordinated with fake IDs, executed inside swing states, confirmed in official intelligence docs, ignored by the FBI, censored by the CISA, and funded by the invisible enemy. First marker 11.3 verified. Think about it logically. The only way is the military fully controlled, save and spread once 11.3 verifies as marker, first marker, biggest advantage drop on poll. Translation, the corruption runs too deep for civilian remedies. Military intervention will be necessary and the only way. Fully controlled means the military is under lawful command, not rogue or insurgent. 11.3 is a legal operational marker referring to the DoD Law of War Manual, signalling when military jurisdiction becomes active. End of occupation. This drop is foundational. This is where the pieces are locked and the proverbial geopolitical chessboard was set. What if the civilian justice system was too compromised to prosecute traitors? What if the military is the only institution still loyal to the Constitution? What if 11.3 isn't a date but a legal good and green light? Okay, they're saying regular courts and politicians can't fix this. When the proof comes, 11.3, only the military will be able to step in lawfully to restore order. The first marker is lit, the chessboard is set, the tribunals are next. Future proves past. Sometimes the past can find the future, because sometimes the future can find the past. The only way is military. Final execution, the reckoning begins. They committed election treason. They coordinated it with a foreign enemy. They buried the evidence, and now we have it all. And the whole world is watching. This isn't about Republican versus Democrat. It's about a foreign coup that installed a puppet regime and the agents of our own government to help make it happen. The proof is now public, the clock is ticking, and the tribunals are inevitable. So next time someone scoffs and said, I don't believe in that, look them straight in the eye and say, that's cute, now explain why cute knew about the CCP fake ID op the same day the FBI got the intel. Go ahead, I'll wait. Because this isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. This is case evidence. This is real and this is war. Fifth column, 11.3 verified. We have it all. Thank you for playing. Let the tribunals begin. If this woke something up in you, don't just scroll by, repost it, meme it, share it with still sleeping sheeple. Because in this digital war, the truth spreads when the awakened make it unstoppable. That's how you escape the matrix. We are the news now. Buckle up, buttercups, it's about to get bumpy. There you go. Well, that was very interesting because it just verified what 11.3 is. It's a military thing. That is very interesting. And not only that, okay, all the mainstream media went at this, okay? When the mainstream media go at something, you might want to take a look at it. Okay, because they lie. Let me tell you, they lie. Okay, I'm going to go through this one too. Vigilant Fox, 10 shocking stories in media buried today. I think this is the last one anyway. 10, Tucker explodes after Ted Cruz implies anti-Semitic motive behind his Israel questions. Shame on you. Tucker, it's interesting you're trying to derail my questions by calling me an anti-Semite. Cruz, I did not. Tucker said, of course you are. And rather than be honourable enough to say it right to my face, you are in a sleazy feline way implying it. Cruz later said, if you're not an anti-Semite, give me another reason why the obsession is Israel. Tucker responded, I'm in no sense obsessed with Israel. We're on the brink of war with Iran, and so these are valid questions. That does not make me an anti-Semite, and shame on you for suggesting otherwise. More from this heated exchange coming up, but first, here are the next 9 stories. This, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it would be interesting because they're actually having a debate, okay? Where's the rest of it? Hang on. Got to keep clicking on them. The former Dean of Nursing at St. Catherine's University in Minnesota stole over $400,000 from the school and won't serve a single day in jail. She was sentenced up to 3 years probation in order to repay just $25,000 of what was stolen. Wow. Caitlin Clark gets brutalised with a hand to the face before another player chest bumps her to the ground. Rubin Report writes the WNBA has their Michael Jordan and they're kicking the shit out of her. These ladies should be booted from the league today. Yeah, so watch it. One gets her in the face and another one just pushes her over. The Trump administration is moving to dismantle Big Pharma's grip on television and the networks are in full-blown panic. TV execs are bracing for an advertising apocalypse as Trump officials consider policies that would hit pharma where it hurts most. Their massive ad budgets. The administration may force drug makers to disclose all side effects in their ads or lose tax breaks entirely. I've got a cough. Okay. Yeah, they're bracing for advertising apocalypse as Trump officials consider policies that would hit Big Pharma where it hurts most, their massive ad budgets. The administration may force drug makers to disclose all side effects or lose tax breaks entirely. The fallout would be enormous. In 2025 alone, drug companies poured $2.18 billion into TV ads, filling more than 70% of commercial breaks on CBS Evening News, and more than 1 in 4 ad minutes across all major networks. But this isn't just about money, it's about control. As RFK Jr. warned, their paychecks being paid by the network, their salaries are actually coming from pharmaceutical companies, he added. They've got to toe the line. They're not giving us the real news. More of this, please. Brain surgeon names 3 substances that fight every mechanism of Alzheimer's without the side effects. Allegedly, curcumin, increases mitochondrial function, increases the amyloid. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Reduces hyperphosphorylated tau, and it reduces the inflammatory chemicals that trigger it. DHA from omega-3 fats. DHA removes almost all the amyloid from the brain. EGCG from green tea also reduces amyloid, whatever that is. Dr. Baylock says these substances are ignored by mainstream medicine because they don't work. Not because they don't work, because pharmaceutical companies couldn't make a profit. Now, I don't know, okay, but there you go. The next story. You are more likely to die from jabby than you are from disease for which there is a jab. And this is true for every single jab on the childhood schedule. Dr. Susan Humphrey adds if they were to stop and the word really got out, these companies would crash and not going to be allowed to happen. Look at the Amish, okay? Just look at the Amish. They don't do any of this. They don't get sick. Supreme Court deals crushing blow to transgender medical complex. Yep, not allowed. Number 3, Ted Cruz claims defending the nation of Israel is in the Bible. Tucker asked for the citation, and then this happened. What's going to be going on here? Hang on, we're going to have to listen to it.
Okay. And the reason is twofold. Number 1, as a Christian, growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of it, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the Google.
It's in Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number 1, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number 2...
Well, hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
And so is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yeah, nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the descendants
God's
of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
And by the way, it's not run by Benjamin Netanyahu as a dictator. It's a democratic country that elected.
He's the prime minister.
Right.
What?
But just like, America is the country run by Donald Trump. No, actually, the American people elected Donald Trump. The same principle
This is
there.
silly. I'm talking about the political entity of modern Israel.
Yes, and that is
You believe
Israel.
that's what God was talking about in
Yes.
Genesis.
I do, but
that country's existed since when?
For thousands of years. Now, there was a time when it didn't exist, and then it was recreated just over 70 years ago.
I'm saying, I think most people understand that line in Genesis to refer to the Jewish people, God's chosen people.
That's not what it says.
Okay, Israel, but you don't even know where in the Bible it is. So I don't know if we can...
I don't remember the scriptural citation. But, okay, I keep...
It's like Genesis 16 or something like that. But yes, it's in the earlier part of the book. But the point is...
All right, Tucker, you keep interrupting me before I finish my sentence.
It's just important to know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're... So you're saying as a Christian, if I believe in Jesus, I have to support the modern state of Israel?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm explaining for me what my motivation is.
But okay, so I'm just trying to understand. You said God tells you to support the modern state of Israel in the Bible, in some place in the Bible that you heard about, but you don't know where it is. That's your theology?
You're going back, am I a sleazy feline again? I mean,
if you accuse me of anti-Semitism again, I will say that, but I don't think you will.
Wow. Just let me search for something for a minute. Because they said there's a reason it wasn't mentioned once. Israel intelligence stand down, media assets will be removed. See, they even follow the picture. Jerome Corsi, who are outed as a Mossad agent in 1997 sting operation in London. Corsi and... See, they're calling out Mossad agents. Knowing what you know now, Ari, Israel disclosure moments ago, authentic. Why is Secretary of State there? Why is the EU, others pressing to remain in the deal? Think logically, France and Germany came to the White House for the sole purpose of pressing POTUS to remain in the deal. 5% shared POTUS D-class Syria, Iran, plus Uranium One connection. Where does the EU fit in? Sick. I wanted to show you the one where... Okay. We are saving Israel for last. Very specific reason, not mentioned a single time. Because they can't tell them what they're going to do. Otherwise, the enemy will know because they were all reading the board as well. Trump reveals Tucker called him to apologise over opposition claims. Even Tucker agrees Iran can't have nukes. Tucker's a nice guy. He called and apologised the other day because he thought he said things are a bit too strong, and I appreciate that. If they think it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon, they should oppose me, but nobody thinks it's okay. I don't think Tucker thinks it's okay. I did ask Tucker, I said, are you okay with nuclear weapons being in the hands of Iran? And he sort of didn't like that. He sort of didn't like it. And I said, well, if it's okay with you, then you and I have a difference, but it's really not okay with him. Then Japan releases bombshell, jab versus unjab data on 18 million people. I don't know if I can talk about this here. Exposed it. She posted on X, if the government won't do it, then the people should investigate mass deaths of certain Japanese people. Let me just see if I can surmise what has been said here. The more you have, the worse it gets. Okay? If it had no toxicity or didn't induce death, there wouldn't be a peak. The more you get, the worse it was. Bonus one, screw your freedom. Arnold shocks the view with pro-America rant no one saw coming. Bonus 2, the deadly salt myth that fooled the world. This is what I want to look at. What's this? You don't need salt. Everything you thought you know about salt is backwards. A deadly myth is ruining health, fueling disease, and no one's taken responsibility. And I'm going to read this one tomorrow. Okay, I believe it's the opposite of what they've been telling you. Lower salt, lower salt, lower salt. I don't know about that. Okay, let's go through the comments, guys. I will save that one for tomorrow. That'll be one of the first ones I read. Oh no, maybe the end. Because I've got to hide it somewhere in the video. Deb said, Stormy wants to go on a road trip, me hopping. Oh, well done, Deb. And yes, we are finding out who's who in the zoo. Hey, George, how you going? Jim, how you going? Good to see you guys. Out to lunch? I've seen someone saying T-Rex are just giant rabbits. Oh. Out to lunch said, I can see it in a way. Yeah, but they don't have real big ears, do they? Deb said, I'm great, thanks. I'm a great-grandmother 3 times now, Jim. Oh, wow. Good on you, Deb. Yeah, I've got 3 grandchildren. Out to lunch said, very wet here, that's worse than moist. Had wind with limbs down, had to use a chainsaw. Holy cow. Yeah, we're about to get some strong winds next week. I think we're going to get snow, I'm not sure. But I have it's only like a real light portable gazebo. And every time it's windy, I can't sleep. Not only do I have trees leaning over my house that I'm worried are going to come down, but I'm worried that this gazebo is going to take off. But what I've done is I've tied something over the top of it to hold it down. So I don't know if it's going to work. I should take a photo of it and put it up and show you guys what I've done. The chicken coop, I don't believe, is going anywhere because it's nearly buried in the ground now from all the chickens and all their, scratching and stuff. That is nearly buried. So hopefully that's not going anywhere. And it's among many trees. That's the only thing I worry about. On that one, it too is a tree falling or a branch falling on the chicken shed. But anyway, out to lunch said, very wet here, that's worse than moist. Oh, yeah, I did read that one. George said, Port Arthur, is that where the mass shooting happened? Yes, it is, George, yep. Out to lunch said on chicken coop. Oh. Did your limbs fall on the chicken coop? Jim said, that's awesome. I just became one last September. Wasn't sure I'd live long enough. Lol. Deb said, well, when I was in high school, the world was going to freeze over. Exactly. In the 70s, we were going into an ice age, they said. Now they've changed it. And they changed it to global warming. And when that didn't happen, they changed it to climate change, which climate changes all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. Welcome to reality. Okay. Pat said what they're doing is segregation. Yep, Pat. How you going, Pat? Jim said, thanks, Deb. He's the cutest ever. Out to lunch, said Deb and Jim. I bet there isn't a Liberal that could claim that. Do you? Out to lunch said, congratulations, I might soon myself. George said, I've had my benefits cut by more than £150 a week. Oh, wow. Why? Oh, no, George. Oh, no. I am so sorry. That's devastating. Oh, my God, I couldn't imagine if that happened. And I bet you all those immigrants are getting, like, a lot of money for, just being there. Deb said, awesome, out to lunch. Jim said, you're correct, out to lunch. Deb said, it's all for entertainment purposes only. Jim said, congratulations, hope you do get a grandbaby. Deb said, it's all a movie review. Yeah, we're reviewing a movie. That's what my news is all about. Just watching this movie called Life that they're trying to sell us. George said, if I end up losing my flat, I'll just... No, don't do that, George. Please don't do that. Please. Please don't. Is there any help you can apply for? Oh, shit, George. I'm so sorry, man. Like, seriously. I feel really bad for you. Out to lunch said China helped. Albo, maybe? Yes, I do believe they did. Yes, there are China ships in our ports. Yes, there are. Australia's about to find out the hard way. As they've been finding out, I'm now seeing people calling for guns back again. So they're going to find out more and more as time goes on and this continues to happen. I can only hope that Trump takes over Australia. Deb said, no doubt about it, out to lunch, elbows bending for them. It's how he got in, by selling Australia out. Yep. Jim said FJB, yes. Deb said, Alex is on my list of contacts I've sent letters to. Oh, Alex Antic, yep. Deb said China has its own port in Australia. Yeah, in Queensland or the Northern Territory? In Darwin. Deb said, just a book review. Out to lunch said, it seems like it could be very possible. Lol, it's so comical that the weird folks just don't swallow the pride and see and hear our cries for their own selves. 500 million is such a low number. Deb said, and the city has grey colour to it and it's dirty. Pat said, off with their balls. Out to lunch said, it seems to get 500 million from 81 out of 2 billion seems favourable, 1 out of 1,700 times. Right, does that 1,700 die for one to live? Deb said, when you have medical condition, both heat and cold are dangerous. Yeah, you can get too hot and you can get too cold. It's hard keeping it just right. Out to lunch said, elderly, heat, cold, no electricity can be the reason. Yeah, well, they can't use their air conditioners in the summer because it drives up the electricity cost, and heaters in winter. Or air conditioning if it's a reverse cycle. They can't use it. So what are they going to do? Deb said, I'll bring my own zip tie on the plane. Yeah. Oh. Out to lunch said, Deb, yep, a way to communicate too. Deb said, karma's coming. Yeah, and demons. Yeah, George said she's a demon. Jim said, what a piece of work. Out to lunch says, I'm not reading that out to lunch. Sorry, I know it's mild, but I'm not. Carl said, hello all, demonic plane lady is on pharmaceuticals. Yes, she looks like she's on something. Deb said, oh my God, out to lunch. Jim said she needs a snort of bear spray. Yeah, I was thinking something, like surely someone, she's kicking all these people. Surely someone could do something. Out to lunch said, I was thinking about Deb's zip ties and flight, lol. Deb said, please stop her air. Deb said, karma. Out to lunch said, everyone would be bear sprayed. Deb said, laugh at her. Out to lunch said, she needs some nitrous oxide. George said, if you can't breathe, you won't be swearing and kicking at people. Out to lunch said, laughing is debilitating sometimes. Oh, yeah, when you laugh so hard that your stomach hurts and you're rolling around on the floor or your chair or whatever. Jim said, haha, yeah, out to lunch, whoops. Yeah, Deb said, mental illness. George said, her time in the month. Deb said, padded room on the way. Deb said, George, maybe. Selena said, demon possessed. Hey, Selena, how you going? Good to see ya. George said, hi, Carl and Selena. Out to lunch said, that son is a dick. Deb said, like Albo. Out to lunch said, I was behind. Isn't Greenland where Mars is, the rover and stuff? Yeah, I thought it was too, yep. George said, I thought Greenland was near Denmark. G'day, Zal, how you going? Good to see ya. Sal said, Australia's fifth column is vast. Oh, I'm sure it is. Sal said, when you understand what and how they've infiltrated, you can't keep calling the Aussie public apathetic. These infiltrating have closed down every avenue for everyday normal people to pursue. Yeah, but it's just the ones that aren't waking up, you know. But yeah, you can't. You can blame it on the propaganda and our politicians and media. Sal said, Q is real and on is infiltrated. Yes, be careful. Out to lunch said, and after going on something they claim is true, you know, to question it too, lol. Infiltration, not invasion worldwide. Why stay local, right? That's exactly it. Out to lunch. Infiltration, not invasion worldwide. Out to lunch said, no med money to TV, lol, serves them right. Sal said, telling or demanding the truth is such a revolutionary act these days. Out to lunch said they could have spent the money on lowering the cost of treatment or medications themselves. Out to lunch said, Zal, so true. Sal said, Israel. Out to lunch said, high vitamin C doses treat the big C, stage 4. Have you heard such? Yes, we have spoken to Timmy about that. He was mentioning that quite a while ago in one of the first call-in shows, I believe, which I've got to ring him, message him actually and see if he's available sometime this weekend. Hopefully he is, and we can jump on a live stream together. Deb said, this is why a few years back holistic doctors just happened to be found unalived in clusters. Yeah, exactly. Out to lunch said, Israel is a name. Zal said, the prime sinister. Out to lunch said, Deb, billions of TV ad dollars in danger would unalive a bunch of holistic doctors. Ooh. Where'd that go? Yep, okay. Zal said all of this would buy bull conjecture is a load of bullocks anyway. It was seeded by the etamine as a means of control. Deb said it's a newer country. Out to lunch said ask AI if that saying is biblical maybe. Out to lunch said Tucker would have fact-checked it live if they wanted. Conchega said the original Tucker Carlson was a regular visit to the Pedo Pizza Bar mentioned in dispatches. Deb said, my dad died because they took all the salt out of his diet. There you go. You need salt, mate. When you cry, your tears are salty. When you sweat, your sweat is salty. There is a reason why you need salt. Hey, Rod, how you going? Conchega said, hey, everyone, just about to head out for work. How you going, Conchega? Good to see you guys. Conchega said, anyone owning a Land Cruiser in Victoria, the Muppet Jacinta Allen's going to make it illegal to own one. RE, the drive-through at the mall, equals false flag. Exactly. Deb said, does anyone know about the charcoal for your stomach? Another question for Doctor in the house. Yes. I know that it can take stuff out of your system, but I'll have to talk to Timmy about that. Damn it, Mandy, how you going? Please post photos of your stuff so we can give advice to help you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll go out and take a photo of it today and I'll try and upload it for tomorrow's stream so I can get your advice because it's going to be like hell windy up, and it's not actually bolted to the ground in any way either. It's not even, the camping stakes. It's not even staked in on one side. But there is something holding it down from flying away. Now, I don't know. But thank you, damn it, Mandy. I appreciate that. Any help I can get is great. Conchega said, ciao, peeps. Hey, ciao, Conchega. And good to see you, damn it, Mandy. Out to lunch said, anyone manipulating weather should pay for all the damages storms have cost lately in the past, all of them. Can you class action lawsuit worldwide? Oh, I think it's coming. Out to lunch. Damn it, Mandy said, I'm always worried about trees and storms. I had to cut one down and I didn't want to do that. They charged me $1,200 to take it down and clear it out. Wow. I think it's more expensive in Australia to get a tree taken out. And there's a lot of them around me and they just keep saying it's a bush block. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. If you're just saying it's a bush block, you have no... The owners obviously have not lived here during high wind. Okay, otherwise those trees would be taken down. But anyway, and I can't blame them if they haven't lived here and they don't know what it's like. It's more cost to them. And landlords are getting hit just as much as us renters are anyway these days. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, Deb said, we in Australia have to be careful what we say so the police don't show up at our door for hurty words against our government. They can come to my door. Come and get me, for fuck's sake. I don't care. Jim Gordon said, that's my line of work, Mandy. Work at a firewood company and do fire mitigation. I need Jim. There you go. I need Jim to come and say, hey, there's fire risk here. Take it to the council. And they'll say, no, you can't do anything. Deb said, I've always been a drama queen when it comes to the weather. Now I have a medical condition. It's even worse. Rod said, Deb, that's a bit messed up. Damn it, Mandy said, people in America didn't realise how nice it truly is to be able to say whatever we want. Those are the same people that easily hand over their rights and take a knee to the anthem. Yeah, exactly. Should never kneel during the anthem, my goodness. Deb said, pepper spray. Damn it, Mandy said, Jim, the tree I had taken down was literally uprooting the pavement of my walkway heading under my house. Wow. Yeah, see, there's so many trees here that they would all be under the concrete, under the houses, mine and next door neighbour, on one side because it's very close. Yeah, under the driveway. Yeah, they'd be all under, the roots would be all under the house as well. Jim said, dang, Mandy sounds like a booger of a job. I watched one day, actually, in the wind where someone had a big eucalyptus tree out the front of their house and every time the wind blew, the ground was lifting and it was like, that tree's going to go. So they ended up cutting it down. Out to lunch said, Iceland is green, but Greenland is iced. Crazy words, yep. God love you, Deb. Damn it, Mandy said, I think women with children and elderly people cannot have their heat shut off in the winter or their air conditioning shut off during the summer, but don't quote me on that. Oh, I think they can over here. If you don't pay the bill, they'll turn it off. Damn it, Mandy said, I came in late around the time of that nasty chick on the airplane. What was she so up in arms over? What set her off? Apparently a large lady was sitting in the seat and she didn't want to sit next to her. So she threw that. There's no need for that. That was just like nasty. So there you go. Yeah, so not much, damn it, Mandy. Not much set her off, just a big lady sitting in the seat next to her. Deb said they're using the extreme weather to depopulate. Damn it, Mandy said that's a fact. You can't breathe, you can't talk. Exactly, damn it, Mandy. Deb said Stormy's been unwell since his birthday. Someone said charcoal would help. There is a charcoal sort of drink you can get. But yeah, I don't know. We'd have to ask Timmy. Jim said, I'm not sure what got the airplane chick's knickers in a twist. Satan? Yeah, her demons are showing. No, it was just an overweight woman sitting next to her. She started calling her fat and all these derogatory, like full on going at her. There's no need for that. Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Don't Mary said, Hev, I'll take 4 dozen eggs, please. We're having homemade lasagna party. Oh, yum. Menacing Muskrat said, darn, I'm really late again. Jeepers. Deb said, Stormy worked on the wood chipper with his friends at a tree loppers. Yeah, I know people who would come and cut down my trees for me, if you were allowed to, but the council, it's ridiculous. They want you to take a picture. The tree has to be either dead, diseased, or dangerous. The 3 Ds. I think I said dying last time. No, they're dangerous. And you've got to take pictures of them, you know, before you cut them down. So if they do come around, that you can prove to them. And all you need to do, if you looked at my house on Google Earth, you can't even see the house. It's covered in trees. And I believe since that picture was taken, it's been opened up a little bit more. But hey. Okay. Yep, I'm around here. Deb said, oh my God, roots are under the house. Menacing Muskrat said, sorry, Hev, I'm a bad... No, you're not a bad mod, Menacing Muskrat. Damn it, Mandy said, they charged me $600 to trim a tree in my backyard. I feel so robbed that it's already grown back. Yeah, that's the problem when, you trim trees. They just grow back. They did that 2 years ago here, and those trees are growing back over the house again. But they're not the ones I'm worried about. I'm worried about the big Massive, massive trees. Deb said, never too late, menacing. Damn it, Mandy said, $600. Sorry, wrong sign. I got you, damn it, Mandy. Sherry said, hey, y'all, sorry I'm late again. It's all right, Sherry, God love you. Deb said, yes, I sent our Timmy a text hoping that we can remember about charcoal. Jim said, yes, tree work can be pricey. Yes, it is. Deb said, too many protected trees, council will not let you cut. Yes, exactly. Rodar said, my house too, Hev, great shot of the driveway. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, remember Israel is last. We are in the storm. Yes, I do believe we are. Menacing Muskrat, you've got to go back and watch what I just went over a whole lot of the board, a whole lot of including what 11.3 means. 11.3, the marker, the start. I think it's happened. It was a DOD or DOJ. No, it was a DOD thing. The 11.3. It wasn't a date. Okay, I've gone over heaps of it. So you've got to go back, Menacing Muskrat, and check it out. Seriously. Yes, we've finally arrived. Yes, Menacing Muskrat. Cue the big event. Whether it's war and EMP, who knows? Don't be scared. Just pray. Damn it, Mandy said my neighbours are arseholes, and if I get a single tree branch over the fence, they come bitching. Well, here in Australia, they can do that if they like, but it's up to them to cut it down if it's leaning over their fence. Allegedly, they can cut it down themselves. Deb said, thank God for heaven and news. Menacing Muskrat said, I will have. Jim said, hi, Sherry. Menacing Muskrat said, it started on October 28th, 2017. Yes, it did. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. I will be back tomorrow, and I'm going to have to go and message Timmy because he messaged me yesterday, but I was busy. I was on my way down to my grandchildren. So, yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.